and welcome to episode 31 of our Project Hybrid bike build, and what seems to be the last episode of the build. Anyway, can't believe it's come.
Hopefully, yeah.
Hopefully we're going to get all that stuff on there with all the other gubbins, and by the end of the day, it'll be finished.
If we're really lucky, it might even be running.
Well, that's the plan.
That'd be good, wouldn't it?
Absolutely. Roll the intro, let's get cracking.
Yes.
So first on the list is a new brake pipe. So here it is, braided with a plastic coating on it. And what we'll do is thread that through and screw it in. Now these come with Downton Abbey washers. That's what I call them anyway. One goes on one side and then the other through, and yeah, we'll show you anyway.
It's a doughty sandwich.
That's the one. So first of all, you've got the bolt. Stick one of the Downton Abbeys on there, then through the guitar.
Did you watch that?
I say guitar, it's called banjo, but you know what I mean. And then the other one on the other side. And the way these work, if you don't already know, is they're better than copper seals because they have a slightly wider rubber. So this metal bit doesn't actually squash. The rubber does, which means they're reusable. Better than the copper ones because you squash them and then you've got to throw them away and get new ones. So with these, you put them on, and then when you screw it up, it squashes the rubber and seals it. Very clever.
Oh, you really reuse copper washers.
Well, yeah, you're not supposed to.
You just nails them.
So just screw it in to start with, and then we shall thread it through where it needs to go. Now this is 90 centimetres long, and the reason why we had to get a new one is because the old one had a ridiculous little switch thing in the middle. So it went into one side, through the switch, and then back out on a different one. So now we've got rid of the switch because that's now a part of the switch gear. That goes in there, and then we'll thread it through, like so. Where's it going to go? Through the back of the light, do you think? Or through here?
Go through the top there if you can get it to go that way.
Alright. Mind the rubber. That's it.
Is that happy there?
Yeah, obviously it needs
Just
tightening
sort
up,
of, it's going to be like.
but it needs to go through there.
Yeah, but it's going to be around there, so as long as that's happy to be.
As long as it's nowhere near the tyre. It goes through like so. Screws in there. Sorry it's been a bit jolty, but I can't be bothered to take the camera off the tripod as he's doing it.
Fair enough.
Now on first initial look you might think, hang on, that's a bit too long, could have got a shorter one. But bearing in mind the mudguard's going to be here, and we want a decent amount of turn without there being a tight pull, do you know what I mean?
Mm.
So I think that's okay.
What's on the mudguards on there, that's pulled out of the way.
Yeah.
That'll be fine.
So job 2 is to fill our forks with fork oil. We can't say that 3 times quickly.
Or fill our forks with fork oil?
Yeah.
No, I can't.
Fill our forks with fork oil.
Oh.
So yeah, that's what we're going to do next. And what do we need for that? We need some specific fork oil. I'll tell you what, I'll get it. Now, when it comes to fork oil, you don't just shove it in up to the top and hope for the best. According to the book, which is quite handy, you have to put in, when refilling, 4.9 fluid ounces. So using our Wilco functional measuring jug as opposed to a non-functional one, which probably has a hole in the bottom, we shall put in 4.9 fluid ounces and top it up. So let's go. Oh, and this is the fork oil we're using. Westway Lubricants Motorcycle 10 weight oil. Be careful not to let it go twang.
You could use that oil pumpy thing.
Yes.
It's got a hose on. That's in the big box, small box. It's in one of them boxes.
This I got from a cheap £2.49 shop. There you go. Yeah, just stick it in there, and that's going to take forever.
I can't remember how much tension this is under. So I can put more pressure on it.
Actually, oh, there we go. There it goes.
Oh, at least it landed on the
Ooh.
carpet. Apparently it's important to get exactly the same amount of oil in both shocks.
Yes. That's not level. Stop moving it.
Is that level?
If they're brand new, you put in 5.6 to 5.8.
They're not brand new, are they?
No.
Let's do 5 something.
That's
whatever.
five and a bit.
Yeah.
Right, here we go.
You're right there on the out.
Yep.
Yeah. You still doing that?
No, I finished 10 minutes ago.
Okay.
Incidentally, as a little bit of a teaser at this point, if anyone's actually watching, the exciting news we mentioned is becoming more and more exciting.
It is.
So watch that space.
Because that will be announced in a week's time.
Possibly.
No! When this video goes out, which is next week, it'll be announced in like 3 days.
Is it announced, or are we going to wait until actual official?
No, we're still making an announcement because we're generating interest.
Tell you what, when this video goes live, there will be a Patreon announcement.
There will.
We'll do that.
Oh, hello, I found more.
Excellent.
What you're supposed to do once these are back on is pump the forks anyway to dispel any excess air. Hopefully.
Yeah, which will just be down in the bottom there, but all you've got to do is bounce it a few times and that will squirt out just the same.
Oh yes, that's exactly the same amount I was left in before.
So if we did that in the jug then, there should be your face. That's the wrong bloody way.
So there they are, done and done up. Now this one proved a little bit tricky.
Yeah.
Just couldn't get enough pressure on it to put it in, but it's in now. The idea is to pump it, make sure there's no air in the system. Doesn't sound airy, does it?
No.
So next comes the bleeding of the brakes. So with a tube on the bleed nipple.
It's not the best tube, but it'll have to do.
Yeah, it's the best tube we could find. And brake fluid. First of all, you top up the reservoir. You'll have to do this several times, because the idea obviously is going to pump it through and pump out all the air in the brakes. I'm probably teaching you to suck eggs. I do apologise if that's happening. So what we're doing is just pumping it through. Eventually it will come through. Oh, there's a bubbles. Ooh, that's close.
Careful, don't overspill that.
Yeah. It's going down. Oh, I'm getting a bit of pressure now. Oh, bastard!
It did it. Right, having done the front brake, it seems only logical to move on to the rear brake. So I've given this little arm a little clean up, there's no point messing around with it too much. I've got to refit this pin, which is for the foot brake, and there's a clevis pin and a cotter pin to hold that in on the end of this. You can't put it all in together because the tyre's in the way. So I'm going to grease that up, whack it in the hole, refit that, and then we need to adjust it.
Right, we've hit upon a little snag, and that involves putting the brake pedal and the rear brake arm on. Unfortunately,
It turns
the
out
spring is a bit awkward. So this part of the spring here needs to be on the other side of the arm.
which we can't lift up because it hits the swing arm.
Indeed. The problem is this bracket here. Now we tried sitting on the bike to release the swing arm pressure to try and get it past, but it's not enough. So unfortunately the swing arm has to what, Malcolm?
Well, we need to undo this bolt, pull it out and let the swing arm move, because what's happening as we're trying to bring this arm up that the spring needs to go under, it's hitting the swivel point on the swing arm. So if we can just move that out the way a bit, we can pull the arm right back, hook the spring on, push it back again, is the idea.
Yes. So
And
the
then we
spring arm
can-
basically has to come off.
Yeah, so we now need to support the bike, undo this, tap that bolt out, sort the spring out, put the bolt back in again.
Yeah. What we don't want to have to do is to take everything off, which means suspension, rear wheel,
bracket.
rear bracket, and all that gubbins. We don't really want to have to do that. So we're going to try this way, and hopefully this will be successful.
Yeah, but so word from the not wise, this brake lever pin must go in before the swing arm.
Yeah, because that just isn't enough room to get it past, and you can't. Unfortunately, you can't take that out. Put enough tension on that spring to be able to push it in straight again,
Yeah.
because you'll just end up smacking this.
Yeah, and if you'd hook the spring on first, you then wouldn't be able to pull it back enough to hook it around here. So
No, and there isn't enough pressure to be able to push this spring arm up. I mean, we could take that off. We could take the suspension off.
it's not that that's in the way. It's the swivel. It's this bit here. I can't move that arm up.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yes, yes,
So
yes.
we
of
need
course,
to
yes.
take that bolt out, lift the swing arm out the way, just so I can spin it back, hook the spring on, spring it back,
Yeah.
put the swing arm back.
So
Simple as that.
we're going
It's
to undo
easy it
that,
sounds.
push it out, and hopefully the bike's not going to go twang, buckle.
We'll put some support under the weight for the weight of the engine, so there's no weight on that back wheel.
Yeah.
Just let that ping out the way. It won't ping very far because there's no load on these springs when the bike's supported, so should be fine.
Okay, let's do it.
Do that.
Okay, so let's get ejecting some. Okay, so we've got the swing arm bolt through. However,
but due to our impatience,
yeah, there was a little bit of an issue. Unfortunately, it's put a chew in the edge of the
I think your
bolt
hand's
here.
probably in the way.
All right.
I'll go from that side. As
There
you
we
can see,
go.
the threads have been nulled over.
Yes.
So this nut now won't
doesn't-
screw on, it just jams up. However, in my infinite wisdom, about 18 years ago, I bought a rethreading set. Can you see that?
There we go.
It's a rethreading set, and it's basically, they're like taps and dies, and if they don't cut a thread, they clean the thread. Cost me about, I don't know, 90 something pound at the time, but the amount of times I've used it, it's probably saved me that money so many times over. So it's got little cutouts, just same as a thread, and the idea is that you can screw it onto the thread. We're lucky that I've got this size, it's the biggest one in the box.
Yeah. Which is, was it M14
M-
or 1.5?
Yeah, and then we can, oh, it's the right size, look at that. You just wind it down, and it cleans up all the nasty bits of thread. You can actually feel it chewing them bits off.
And then spits it out in the gaps.
So it spits it out from the gaps, right? And then when we take it off, the nut should then work again. Because there's not that much damage on the thread, it was just enough to turn the tops over.
So, lesson learned from this, do it before the swing arm goes on,
Yeah.
and then don't lose patience.
Well, the impatience was the fact that we didn't want to take it apart.
Yeah, there's a lot to take off.
But it worked. Okay, it would have been nice if it had lined up properly and not gnarled the edge of the thread over, but
Yeah.
so that now is gone. Pretty much all the way down
That
there.
seems to screw it there quite nicely, actually.
I can feel it chewing the thread bits off.
Can
all
you?
that
There's
nasty-
only a little bit of the thread that it took there, luckily.
Yeah.
Okay, moment of truth. Drum roll,
Get
please.
all the bits of swarf out of that. So I'm not. I'll get it to turn. Look at that.
Yay!
Screws on. All the way.
Fantasticism.
I don't care what anyone says, that was the best 90 quid I've ever spent.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, unfortunately we've hit upon a little snag in this last minute. What we thought was going to be the last video turns out probably isn't going to be, slightly annoyingly. And it's all down to this bloody thing. Now, it looks like it's either the wrong spring or it's a broken spring.
It does look too short. It looks like there should be more of this, it's been bent funny.
The brakes work, but the brake pedal does not return. Now that seems to be obviously a bit of an issue, and we're not quite sure why. Now the pain was getting the spring in. Unfortunately, we had to take the swing arm out,
Again.
take the suspension off,
Again.
to be able to get this in past there. And even now, that's touching that frame.
Yeah.
That's not right.
It's where it goes. It's acting on the arm.
But that bang there, that
Oh,
bang.
it's still hitting this. There's a stop bolt here.
Okay. It's really frustrating. So it looks like what we thought was going to be the last video is going to be one more.
Looks like it, yeah.
However, we are going to crack on and get whatever we can done in this video. And then, yeah, I was slightly annoyed, to be honest. This has spent a good 2 or 3 hours of our day wasted on getting this done, what we thought was going to be a 5-minute job. And it's really, really frustrating. Just like my 3-year-old son, who doesn't seem to understand the concept of please stop talking. Have to love children, don't you? Carry on.
Only on Saturdays.
Okay, so the brake pedal is off because I'm just spraying that, but the kickstart is on. Now we have to countersink the screws on the back number plate bracket and put that back on. So all we're going to do, we're going to countersink these 4 holes and then screw that in, and then we shall mount the number plate on there. So let's do that next. So as this is still on the bike, because you can't move it because otherwise I'll have to undo all the wires to do it in situ. And there it is, all done. Now all we have to do is put the plate on top. So, fetch the plate, Jeeves. Okay, so Malcolm's drilled the holes in the wrong place. Look at that, look. That's really poor.
I marked them in the right place. And
Did
I had
you?
the centre of the drill bit exactly on the dot, and yet they still end up in completely different places. That's why the pillar drill is so much nicer.
Is it?
Yeah,
That's what it is it?
Yeah, drills wonder.
That's got nothing to do with
I
that.
could have put tape or something on there, I suppose. But
Anyway, so that's done. So we're now going to drill the holes in there to go through here, and then put in the bolts for the plate. What do you say?
look, I've done stuff.
So, with the number plate on, it's time for the clutch cable.
Did you like that cable?
Yes. So the next thing to do is I've put on the gear linkage. Now this thread was a bit gnarled, so I've just ran it through with the 1.25 thread cutter and the thread cleaner, and that's now done, so that goes on nicely. This is now in place, just need to tighten it up. And then the gear linkage is on and works fine.
Yay.
So that's all good. So, clutch cable.
Yeah, one of
Yeah, something like that.
You have another one?
Yes, brand new one.
Oh,
Made by Hilux.
let me see.
There it is.
Whoever they are.
Hilux.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not the right end.
Later you bought some more.
No.
Yes,
Why
later.
did they put that there?
Later you buy some more.
No, thank you.
Later.
I don't need any more.
No, later you buy some.
I don't need any more.
No, later you buy some.
I don't need any
No,
more.
I say later you buy
No,
some.
because later I don't need any more. I bought one.
Later you bought one.
No, I bought one already.
Later you get one again.
Why?
Later that broke.
No, it won't.
Yeah? What?
Who are you, Nostradamus?
Yes, the work because you have to get the one.
I'm arguing with a 3-year-old and I'm
Yeah.
losing.
No, I'm
Yeah.
I'm the 3 years old.
I know.
You're not 3 years old.
No, but I feel it now. Okay, so the clutch cable is in.
It's in here. And we've got to try and figure out which way it goes through this stuff.
Route through the
Yeah.
underneath of the thing.
Goes through there somewhere, yeah, or maybe we'll just poke it through there for now and see what happens.
Can't see mouth.
I might put it behind that. No, we'll put it in front of that. No, we'll put it behind that, it'll look nicer.
So once it's been routed through here, it goes underneath the hook on the thingy and into the thingy on the what's name?
I haven't decided where it's going to go yet, to be honest.
No, but it'll go.
It's going to go under the tank, isn't it? So
Yes.
I might tie wrap it to the top of that.
Okay. And its purpose is to you work the clutch.
Operate the clutch, yeah.
Absolutely. Which goes in there.
It's in there, yeah. Oh, this has fell out again. Yet another issue. This is the end that goes in the clutch bit on the gearbox. Spot the difference. One's teeny tiny, one's mahoosive. Not good, because that now doesn't fit both through this doodah on the top or into this little, well, it does actually fit into there, but it's a bit of a squeeze. But yeah, so I can't get it in there because it won't go through this. So
That's a problem when you're buying aftermarket stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So when we've got a choice here, we can either drill that out so it fits, or we can file this down a bit, or we can use the old clutch cable.
It'd be nice to use the new one.
It would.
I think we just file that down a bit.
We could just file that down just enough to
Just to get through the hole.
Through that, yeah.
Yeah,
Because it'll still work on that.
indeed.
Because that one's smaller anyway.
How's it going? All done?
I think so. Let's get this last little bit smooth. There we go. I've lost the thing. Oh, there it is. Whoop, oh, there you
Yay.
go. That's in. Okay, cool.
Hammer.
No, don't need the hammer.
I need a hammer.
No, don't.
Oh, sorry,
What's your name,
sorry.
Jeremy?
Yeah.
Miss you.
Brilliant. Okay. That is one clutch cable done. So all we need to do is
Quick and easy fix, huh? Alright.
pull the clutch and see if it works. You ready?
Yeah. Well, it moves.
Yeah, it needs timing.
Yeah, there's some adjustments.
I need to do this one.
No, don't need to do that one. Look what's arrived. New LEDs. Now I bought two just in case another one goes because they're cheap enough. So I'm just going to whip this one off, make sure this one works first, and then stick it in its place.
Yay! I say yay.
Yeah, I'm not impressed.
They can see me. Hello. You too. Now you say hello.
No. As you remember, only half this panel works for some weird unknown reason, even though all the indicator ones still do work. So I bought two, just in case another one plays up. So we're going to wire that up, make sure it works properly, and then stick it on. Yay! Yay, yay! All of them look. Woohoo! Brilliant! Stick it on! So what I have to do is just unstick this one. I think it's pretty well stuck actually.
Yeah, you might end up bending that bracket.
Yeah, I might have
Maybe
to.
pay you to take the bracket off.
Yeah. Which is a pain in the bum,
Yes.
because it's two nuts, one in the middle.
Oh. Well, that one's bigger, that's alright, I'll just come out.
That's alright, I'll just take the wire off here. And I'll just hoik it off.
I think you're going to bend it.
Not if I can pull it whilst pushing. There you go, easy. You were saying?
Oh, look at that. That was rubbish, wasn't
Yeah, what does that say about this one? Is it going to flop off if it gets a bit wet?
it? Is it 3M tape?
Yeah, I think so. Okay. Right. There. Okay, I'm talking to Mark the editor here.
Yeah, note to self.
This is Mark the director addressing Mark the editor. We are now on plus 10 decibels. Remember that when you're editing,
Yeah.
turn down the volume. We know your editor is a bit slow and a bit thick, so from the director, who's obviously a lot more intelligent than said editor inside there. You know that yes, I'm pointing at you inside the editing suite, the other side of this camera. Yeah, do your job. Right, my next task is to fit the numbers on the side panels. So, now I know originally we said we were going to go for plastic ovals. Now, we hit upon a slight issue with that, and that was that the plastic is flat, and we'd have to get it bent to match the shape of this. So we've decided not to go for that. Instead, I've just got some ovals with numbers made up already. So, it needs to be about there. Start with this side. And work my way across. Now there's different ways of doing this. Now bearing in mind the sticker is flat, so we're going to get a couple of bubbles anyway, I think. You can use like a credit card or like a smoother to do it, but I like to do it with my finger or my thumb, because then I can push it through and get to each bubble as I find it. Having said that, I've just noticed a bubble between the black and the white. Let's see what it looks like.
You can always pop them.
Yes, exactly. There is a trick to do it. You can pop it with a pin and then just smear the edges. Well, it's looking good. It's looking like most of the bubbles were actually on this cellophane bit and not the actual sticker itself. Pleased with that. And we'll get that on the bike in a second. So here we are, look, with a couple of the bubbles. Can you see? There's a glimmer in the light there, a couple of bubbles. So what you do with a blade is just tap the middle like that, and then smooth over it. Tap the middle and smooth over it. You're never going to get it perfect, unfortunately. It was when the black numbers were put onto the white thing, which was done by the guy I bought it from, which was an eBay special. Ta-da! Numbers!
Not though, didn't you?
What?
It hasn't got the black border.
Don't need a black border.
The white ones are going to have, the plastic things are going to have black around the edges, weren't they?
No, never planned on that.
I did.
You did, yes, but
At the end of the video.
it's my bike.
Is it?
What do you mean, is it?
I should just go home, shall I?
Oh! Oh!
You going to play that game?
Oh! What a bitch comment that was!
Oh,
Wow!
team effort, my friend, team effort. Yes, it's your bike, but it's a team effort.
Wow! Colours true, shining through. There's an unintentional rhyme there, but it works.
Yeah, it did work, didn't it?
Yeah,
I'm impressed.
thank you. So next, brake pedal. I've sprayed it black. And that is now ready to go back on the bike. So, to be able to put this back on, we have to undo that, which unfortunately means undoing that bolt.
Yeah, it was only sort of a temporary thing anyway.
It is.
We were checking the threads, weren't we?
Yeah. That's that off. That.
I wouldn't put it there,
Why?
because you won't be able to press it.
Yeah, there. Under that. I thought this had to get some tension still.
No,
Oh, okay.
we've got a different spring on it.
Oh, yeah, okay. There.
See where that is in relation to the...
Yes.
Looks about right.
Okay. Obviously that's touching on here, which
Yeah,
is
that's-
where it's supposed to.
that's what it does do.
This basically acts as a stop. Okay.
Whilst Mark was doing stickers on his side panels, we've now got throttle cables, clutch cables done, brakes are working, clutch is working.
Throttle cable was a bit of a pig to root, wasn't it?
Yes. I can never remember where they were originally, so you just have to keep moving them until they work nicely. Because there's two of them, they seem to get in the way of each other. We've also got, nice, well done. We've also got number plate on, all the lights are functioning,
Yeah, you know what's going on next, don't
the
you?
horn,
The stickers on the tank next. Click. So the next task is to put the stickers on here. Now, originally we were going to use these ones, the Motors for the Masses stickers. However, not sure they're going to work well on the bike, even though it's got a white background, the same as the numbers. But having seen the design from Ronnie, we think these ones are going to go much nicer, so we are going to put those designs on the side of the tank. So that's what I'm going to do now. Now I've got sheets and sheets of these, so if I mess it up
Is it big enough?
doesn't really matter. Yep, these I've measured. I had these cut to the size of that hole, because originally that's what I got them for. But we actually give these away now to our patrons.
Oh, look at that.
Right, I've done a good job there. Pretty spot on.
Yeah.
Look at that, that looks awesome.
Proper pleased with that.
Oh, what
It's
an
a tiny bit wonky.
is it?
Yeah. So when you do the other side, make sure you get the same wonky.
That's not wonky.
It's very tightly, slightly tilts to the anti-clockwise.
Yeah, that's planned.
Yeah. So if you do the other side, get the same the other side. That's fine.
Yeah, so it's slightly up at the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was planned all along.
I like it. It looks good.
I am so chuffed with that. Once again, thank you, Ronnie, for such an awesome design.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
That is brilliant. Ho ho! Right, other side. There it is, first time. Really pleased, actually. It's come out really well. Look at that, look. That is awesome. Now let's get this baby on the bike.
Just need to sort that fuel pipe out.
Oh yes. We've already got the tap on. Now let's get the pipe sorted. So the next sticker to go on is the bike name. Now, as you know, this bike is called the Hybrid. It is a P400, and we have that to go on as well later.
It wasn't just us being silly, the hybrid. It was actually
No,
a thing.
it's actually the bike's name, the Hybrid. So I may have to turn this round, so you might go out of shot for a minute, but I want this to be spot on. Okay, so letter-wise, 8 goes in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, that's going to be about there. Right. Have a look. Oh, hang on, I'm going to have to...
Oh, I forgot about that. I'm going to wear it away.
And that is why a gentleman should carry a handkerchief. To make sure your stickers are on properly. And then when you're finished using it on your stickers, you can blow your nose with it.
And then put it in your pocket to
And then
fester.
put it in your pocket to fester, and then when it goes crusty, it'll be fine to use again.
You just kind of ruffle it up and knock all the crispy bits off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Once it's done, just shake them off and carry on. It's the British way.
Beautiful.
It's always good to do these gently, because you do get some bits that lift, especially considering it's going onto a cold tank.
Yeah.
If it does lift, just send it back and push again. And there we go. Okay, so the next one is the bike's nickname, P400. There.
Stands for Project 400.
Project 400, indeed. So that, black, just to go on the side here, I've cleaned that off. Just go on the side, nice and subtle, so black on the gunmetal. I need to get to the other side of that box.
That was one of the things that you didn't even want on
Nice.
there, really, wasn't it?
Sorry?
It was one of those bits that you didn't really want on there. And I talked you into it.
You did talk me into it. See that? Subtle. Okay, we're having to trim the fuel line down, put a new fuel line on. That's a braided one, but it's a proper fuel line. However, it's slightly long, so we need to trim that down, obviously. So we're just making a slight adjustment on the tap because it's pointing exactly in line. It needs to be pointed out slightly, otherwise it hits the inside of here. So that's no good. So tag on. So we are now putting the grips on. Well, we've put the grips on. Now these are a little bit wobbly. So what we're doing is we're just taking them off, wrapping them in insulation tape, and then clamping them back on because it stops them twisting.
Yeah, it's less that they're wobbly because neither of them have been tightened up fully.
No, they haven't. You're right, but
they do
they do
slide around a
move
bit.
slightly. So, oh, and at this point, we'd like to give a shout out to Road Rodent. Whoop whoop.
Oh, you're Road Rodent.
Hello, Road Rodent, and everybody else who's watching. Thank you very much indeed. And yeah, it's getting exciting.
Yeah, look. Got a tank and a mud flap.
And a cat. Can't see the cat.
Yeah, she's there.
She's always here. More like a dog than a cat.
Yeah, she just finds anything random to sit on.
In fact, let me show you. Hang on. I'll just step over the cat.
Yeah, vlog mode. Or just tilt the camera over. Whee.
Minnie, say hello.
Yeah.
Oh,
denied.
Okay, so now the grips are on, the speedo cable is in. We're now going to put the mirrors in.
Mirrors.
Yeah, so that's no, that's your side.
Is it?
Yeah,
No.
it is.
No. You
Of
put
course
them
it is.
underneath. You put them underneath, yeah?
No, like that. These do have a reputation, I think, of coming loose.
Problem is the nut pulls inside the rubber piece, which expands it, but over time the other end of the rubber oozes out of the end of the bar.
Okay.
Once it's done that, it kind of forms like that and you cannot push it back in. So instead of having the rubber right up against that, where it can kind of ooze out of the end of the bar, if you have something in between it there, so that is right inside the bar,
Okay.
it can't then ooze out of the end.
So a washer.
Yeah, just 2 or 3 washers in there, there's still plenty of thread there.
Is it worth putting a washer on the nut end as well?
Yeah,
Is it what
maybe
we're
to
doing,
help
squash
squash.
it? Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll put like 2 or 3 on one end and
Okay. Luckily, we've got loads of washers.
lots and lots of washers.
So here, look, we've put 4 washers on there as spacers to space that out. Can't put a washer on this end because otherwise the nut then slips against the washer and it doesn't tighten. It needs the rubber to tighten. So this way, you see, you can turn it and it will sit like that. There you go. So let's get it in, as opposed to let's get it on.
And hopefully that will stop the rubber from oozing out the end. I mean, straight away it's pushed it quite a good way inside the bar.
Yeah.
The other ones to watch out for are the 3 screws in the back here.
Yeah.
I lost 2 of mine riding along. I thought, why is that mirror not staying where
That's
it's
going to move a lot.
Yeah, well, they can be nipped up.
Okay, I have news. The bike is complete. I'm almost too excited to reveal to you, so I don't think I'm going to. Only kidding. Are you ready? Here it comes. There it is! Look at that!
Just look at that in its splendour.
It's done! I'm going to take you in for a closer look. So there it is. It's done. Okay, when we say done,
Nearly.
we haven't put the chain on.
No.
It is. Oh, what time is it? 10:30 at night.
Yeah, I don't know.
So it's it's quite late.
It is.
We've had a long day.
20 past.
22:20. So yeah,
Got to keep it out now and watch for 22:22.
absolutely. Yeah, there's a story behind that. That's for another time.
Yeah.
So yes, we do have to put the chain on. We do have to put oil in.
Yep.
And we do have to start it.
Yes.
That is coming in the next video because that's going to be where we take it out in the sun, do some nice dramatic shots, and ride it up and down the road.
Yeah, and we do need to put
Private track.
a return spring on this. But it's working
Yes.
really well.
Yeah.
But it needs a bit more.
Yeah. So, that's it. Thank you very much for joining us throughout this video. Like I said, there is going to be one more coming on this, and that's going to be the start, ride, and the final.
Yeah.
Ta-da!
Some nice
kind of
angle
thing.
shots in the daytime with sun shining, hopefully, and
Exactly.
yeah.
Now, don't worry. Well, we've had some questions on last week's video about what's happening next, and someone's asked that Malcolm gets a build as well, and he is.
That's happening.
We've got 2 builds coming up, and they're going to be running side by side. One is going to be for a giveaway bike, and one is going to be
simultaneously.
Okay, thanks, Mr. English teacher. And the other one is going to be for him. So we've got a giveaway bike and we've got a Malcolm bike coming. So 2 builds running simultaneously.
And they are both going to be. Are we going to reveal that? Might as well.
Yeah,
They are both going to be bobbers.
they are, but they're going to be slightly different.
Yes.
One's going to be a 125 bobber,
Yeah.
and the other one's going to be a 650 bobber.
Yeah.
V-twin.
The giveaway's the 125, just so you know.
Yeah, the 650 is going to be his.
Yeah. So.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Just because it's a 125 doesn't mean to say it's not going to be good. It's going to be a nice, sweet little bobber. We've got a great bike lined up.
It'd be a great first custom bike for someone.
That's exactly it. For those that are into 125s, that's a great thing to start with. And you can't say no to a free bike. So
You can.
if you're interested, you have to join our Patreons and you have to be part of the $10 crew to be entered into the bike giveaway.
Or above.
Or above, of course, yeah.
We'd also like it if you were subscribed, obviously.
Yes, and click the bell.
Absolutely, well done.
Yeah, see, I got told off last week.
You did.
So yes, that's it for this video, and that's it for this build, pretty much.
Probably a good thing, it's getting really windy.
It is getting windy, and it's getting late, and I haven't had any dinner. And neither was he.
I'm not that hungry though, I was good for lunch.
I shall eat, because I'm at work tomorrow, all day, and Sunday, all day.
Joy.
But not for much longer, as you will find out in a future reveal. We have some exciting news coming up.
Unless you
so
are a Patreon, in
watch
which
out
case
for that.
That may well be there now.
Yeah, you'll know beforehand. Probably know already. Absolutely,
Yeah, 'cause
as you say.
This is going up today, which is Friday.
Yes,
So
3 days off.
Yeah, we should know.
3 days off, yeah. Okay, so thank you very much for joining us. Please remember to comment below if you have any questions or if you have any comments about this build. Don't forget you can follow us on social media. We've got Facebook, we've got Instagram, and we've got Twitter, which we don't really use a great deal of Twitter, to be honest. Mostly Instagram and Facebook. And of course we have our website, www.motorsforthemasses.co.uk. So, all that remains is to say thank you once again, and until next time, please ride and drive carefully.
But have fun.
Bye.